Okay, I think, yes, we should be live now. Apparently, when you schedule a YouTube live stream, you need to click go live before it actually goes live. That's good to know. So we lost a couple minutes there, but just briefly reiterating, we went to NixOS, to search.nixos.org, searched for fluentd. We want to see what's up with this package, how we can use it. So we searched for it in the package options. We can figure out the homepage from here and a brief description. We can also find the NixOS options here. Generally, with NixOS options and services, you want to try just running .enable equals true, and ideally that should work. And we are going to try this out here in a local VM configuration.nix. So we just did this, and we did a Nix build of this NixOS. You can also use NixOS rebuild build VM, and yeah, by default it just uses your etc NixOS configuration. But yeah, so we built the VM, and now let's try it out, see what happens. So we run it here in the terminal. Does all the things. So evaluation succeeded. That's nice. Generally an indication that the service does indeed work without any extra setup. And now we're in here. We can try seeing if the service runs with system control status fluentd.service. And this looks pretty good to me. All right. Now I have no idea how to use it, but that's for another time or for the user to figure out. Okay, now we want to look at plugins. That was the original question, how to use fluentd with plugins. So let's go out of here. Power off. And you linked a plugin example. Let's look at this briefly. I see Fluent plugin concat. All right, so let's see. Power off, sudo power off. All right, so, well, let's see if it's packaged in Nixpkgs. As we already did just before, recommended way is to use, my recommended way is to use repgrep to grep through all of Nixpkgs. We are actually on an older version here. So NixOS released like in recent weeks. Let's use the most recent version. Let me pull some updates. Okay, and let me grep for this plugin name. So Fluent plugin concat, and it's not there. This is actually perfect because we can kind of try and package it, see how you can start packaging things for Nixpkgs that don't exist yet. All right, and so let's maybe see, are there any other plugins? Because it would be ideal if there was already some other plugin, and there are. That's nice. Okay, well, we found something. Let's see.
These plugins are embedded in fluentd package. So
oh, it looks like, yeah, it looks like there's all specified here. Okay, so we can find here a sorted list. So let's try to find an appropriate entry for Fluent plugin concat.
I think they are in the gem file, and then gem set is generated.
Oh, I see. fluentd. My personal recommendation is to never generate Nix files. My alternative recommendation is to generate JSON and then import that JSON from Nix. Because Nix is kind of hard to generate. There's no, you have to kind of write a bit hacky code to do that. Whereas for JSON, there's very good tools to generate it. Okay, so you're sending in the gem file. These are specified. All right, and then they're generated using, let's see the default.nix here. Update script, that looks pretty good. So there is this convention in Nix packages where packages can add a pass-through. Pass-throughs are attributes in packages that don't influence the package itself. So you can kind of associate any data with the packages. And the update script pass-through is used as a script you can run to update the package in Nix packages. This can be evaluated like this if we go up here. So we can go nix build-fluentd. That works. We just did this earlier, though. We updated the branch. Oh, now it's cached in header. That's nice. We can get to the update script with update script like this. It doesn't evaluate to derivation. Let's see if that's the case. We can try nix instantiate eval to see what it evaluates to. Oh, now we get some thunk. So let's add -- strict. And now it doesn't work. Great. It's actually, I think, so that's a neat trick with nix instantiate that only works on the command line. You can use .0 to access the 0th element of a list. This way we get access to this code thunk here. Now we can see it's a derivation, I think, so just nix instantiate should work fine. And now we get that update script, and we can also try nix build. But that's kind of a roundabout way of doing this. There is a better way. Right now we get to the update script. We could look at it here. But there is a better way to do this, and that is there is a maintainer script to do the update. Actually, I don't really know how that works exactly, so let's look at the Nix packages manual. So there is an update script. Let's script for that. Okay, it's documented. That's nice. A script to be run by maintainers script update.nix. All right. The script, and this is how we run it. Nice. All right, let's copy this. Let's go in here. And it prints a whole bunch of information. So we have this if we want to run it for a specific maintainer. We have this when we want to update a specific package, which is what we want to do in our case. Path gnome. All right, yeah, let's try this. So Nix shell, that arg string package, and now we want to do fluentd. And it says here, updating the following packages. Press enter. Nice. All right, I can see it's downloading some things. All right, packages updated. Let's see git status. Did anything change? It did. What changed? Some dependencies. All right, that's nice. Now let's try adding our own. So not here. Gem file. Let's try adding this fluent plugin concat, seemingly like this. I've never written any single line of Perl. Oh yeah, thank you. Never wrote a single line of Perl, so it's really relying on the Nix packages. Oh, Ruby. Also never wrote a single line of Ruby. Enter. Packages updated. Let's see. Do we have the plugin mentioned anywhere here? Yes, we do. Awesome. So it automatically added it here. Now, how do we actually use these plugins? Let's try to figure this out. So Well, one guess is let's try using autocompletion. So fluent, okay, fluent, no plugins here, fluentd dot. Okay, that's a lot of information. We can try just using pass-through. Maybe the plugins are there.
I think those plugins
No.
are just installed in the Ruby environment thing, and then you can use them from the config.
I see. Okay, maybe the way to find this out would be to...
Yeah, there is a filter example that uses concat plugin, it looks like. So we could add this to the
type concat.
config.
Yeah, let's try something like this. I'm going to copy this, I suppose. Let's go into our configuration. Well, let's look at the NixOS options first. Let's see fluentd here. So we have enabled, we have plugins. We maybe should have looked at this first. List of plugin paths to pass to fluentd. It will make plugins defined in Ruby files there available in your config. Okay, it's not super clear what this is, and there's no example here. I hope the example isn't there, but just not rendered. Nope, there's no example. So let's assume I still don't really know how to use the plugins here. We do know how to use config here, but plugins not really. But we did see that there was a NixOS test earlier. So let's take a look at that. NixOS tests and fluentd. Okay, we have config here. Unfortunately, no plugins. Okay,
well, it uses HTTP and copy. I think they are all basically, file and sysd out.
I wonder because
plugins. So if we add
there's let's try it out. Let's just try out the config with the concat plugin there. Services.fluentd.config equals. Let's make this a multi-line string. Actually, I kind of want to move all of this into another file. Let's do imports equals setup.nix. Let's move all of this into setup.nix. Modules path, we have lib. Okay. Now config, and let's go into fluentd here. Let's copy this. Make the indentation right. Let's also delete all of these comments. I hope these are comments at least. Don't really know the syntax. All right, and let's try rebuilding. I'm gonna open, sure. Let's do it here. Oh no, not this. Next build, we wanna build this. All right, hopefully we can see the plugin being built here. Whole bunch of things. Well, yeah, that looks somewhat right. Oh, and actually so this is kind of hard to see the output here. There is, however, a really nice project I can recommend that is nix-output-monitor. Yeah. Nix-output-monitor, a third-party package, but it really improves the Nix build output. And let's see, do I have it installed already? I do not, so let's do nix shell nix-output-monitor. And now instead of using Nix build, Nix-output-monitor comes with a num build, which replaces Nix build, but improves the output. And yeah, this is the output. It kind of makes it much more obvious what happens here. Though it's happening really fast right now. And this, up to recently, it only worked with the, it's pretty cool, with the Nix build commands, but recently there was an update, so it also works with the new Nix space build commands. All right, we built the VM. Let's run it and see if the service succeeded. Hopefully that's a good indication of whether it worked. System control status fluentd. And adding filter pattern type concat. That looks pretty good to me. There's also some output here. We can't see all the output here, so let's use journal D instead.
General control.
What?
Oh,
journal control.
-u.
Oh, yes. Oh, stopping daemon. Started. Oh, where did the spawn command Ruby? Oh, that's a long line. So, okay, I'm not sure whether it actually worked. Oh, we have just been up top. All right, yeah. It's still working. The output here is a bit messy. I wish I knew how to fix this in the terminal in the VM. But okay, I think that worked. Now, I think one of the, let's power this machine off. Oh, let's power this off. One of the things is, so right now we modified Nixpkgs. How would we do this if we can't modify Nixpkgs? Or if we need to, if we just want to use an overlay. So we'd essentially need to apply these changes to Nixpkgs somehow. And so there are a lot of these updates, but we don't really care about these. Oh. So let's get rid of those. I'm going to do a git add all, git add -a, then -p for patch, which allows me to select individual updates. I'm going to add this, not 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 going to add this. Dependencies, this, I guess, yes. No, 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 no. Yes. And then I think D for none of the rest. Okay, now I have the changes staged that I want. These are the ones I would want to apply to my Nixpkgs. Whether that's possible, I'm not yet sure. But this would also be, these would also be the changes I'd like to have in a PR. So I'm gonna do this. Well, to make a PR, first create a new branch. I'm going to use git switch here, kind of a newer command, which is a bit clearer in what it does. -c to create a branch. We're going to do fluentd, what was it called? Plugins concat. Plugin concat. All right, branch name doesn't really matter. Some people like to prefer it with an add or an init. Oh, nice. Yuri gave some tips here for changing the terminal dimensions. We might try this out in a bit. Okay, we created a new branch. Let's commit the changes. Git commit. Let's add a message. In the commit messages, there is a convention in Nixpkgs. In particular, if you add new packages, which in this case seems to be the case, or well, if you add a new package, it's like this. In this case, we might say fluentd plugin concat, Although, well, init at, and then the version number, we might pick 2.5.0 here. But in this case, we aren't really adding that as a package, but rather we are changing fluentd itself. In that case, I'd probably do it like this. Fluentd add fluentd plugin concat. Yeah, at 2.5.0. Yeah, that sounds good.
It's fluent plugin concat. But...
okay, well, let's amend the commit to fix up the message like this. All right, now we need to, so I already have a fork of Nixpkgs, which allows me to make a PR, but you might not have that yet. I can recommend the GitHub CLI. So that's under, I think, GitHub CLI. Yes. GitHub CLI gives you a gh command, which has a lot of useful functionality. In particular, here we can clone repositories, we can check out PRs, we can also fork repositories. So I can do here git gh repo. Yeah, and then you always have a list of subcomments. In this case, I want to fork. Fork, that's also called help here. And you have a bunch of options. Let's do, well, I already have a Nixpkgs clone. So let me do fork into, well, let's see what happens. It's very interactive, which is nice. Okay, it already exists. So let's do
fork name.
Fork what?
There's this fork name, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can have multiple forks. Same.
Well, let's try it out. Already exists. Renamed fork to wow. Sure. Okay, I would like to add a remote. So yeah, just and if you the first time you run the CLI, it will ask you to connect it to your GitHub account, so it knows what to where to create the fork and so on. And yeah, it kind of does most of the things needed to get Git to work with forks. I'm gonna take a look at the remotes here now. Remote-v allows you to list the remotes. And we have in Finisl, we have origin here. That's the one that was just added. This allows me to do a git push -u origin, and then the branch name, fluentd plugin concat. All right. Now GitHub is very nice. It gives you a link here where you can directly click to make to prepare to open a PR. I would open that in another window. Yeah, this one. All right, can't automatically merge. Probably. Oh yeah, this looks pretty bad. I added a ton of reviewers here. Yeah, so I think I made the PR to the wrong base branch. If I go into git log here, we can see my commit is on top of NixOS 22.11. That's not right. PRs should go to master always firsthand. All right, let's do a rebase here. Personally, I'm really bad with rebases, but what I like to do is, well, first fetch from upstream. Upstream generally is the name of Nixpkgs. Oh, it's already up to date. And now what I like to do is git rebase onto upstream master. So I rebase my changes onto master. And I also like to pass how many commits I want to rebase. Honestly, there's better ways of doing this. If you're experienced with rebase, you're probably screaming right now. Oh, and I have unstashed changes. Let me stash those. All right, rebase complete. We git log this, and it's on top of master now. All right, so we have The PR here, it looks fairly good. Before I do this, though, I do want to check the history of PRs to the fluentd plugins. This way you can kind of figure out who touched the files before you, what the changes were, which changes were done there, see if there were any problems that needed to be resolved. And so the files I changed here, let's see, log patch. The files changed were gem file. Well, let's look at gemset.nix. So in Git, you can view the changes for a specific file with git log and then passing the file path. Let's do this. And we get back, okay, fluentd update, plugin removed. Oh, this looks good. Let's work burning. Yes. So let's show the commit. And what happened there is gem was added. Oh, and they committed all of the updates as well. This was committed. And then I guess this one. Yeah, we did about the same without all the updates. But we could also do the updates as well. Actually, multiple ones were added here. Oh, and one removed. That's weird. But okay, I think we didn't really miss anything here. And did we test it already? Well, we need to make sure we test it. In the PR, you will find some, in the default PR template, you will find a lot of information for how you can test things. Oh God. So what do we have here? We have, for package updates, please link to a changelog or describe changes. We aren't updating a package. Well, we are kind of, but we are adding a new plugin. Describe the package or provide a link to its homepage. I hope that's done automatically, or at least it wasn't done with the previous ones. See gemset, we have the concat plugin here. No meta is added, but the meta also doesn't exist for all the others, so I think that's fair game. In description of changes, though, let's add the fluent plugin concat. Recommended to also link to the project here. It's not done in these files, but let me at least do it in the PR, and so people can easily find it there. Adds the fluent plugin concat plugin to the fluentd package. Now things done. So please check what applies. These are not hard requirements, but merely serve information. It's great. So we build on platforms. Let's see, did we test it? Let's just make sure we test it. Let's build the NixOS configuration. I think previously we built it on the stable branch. All right, so we're going to test it. We don't have all of these systems, so I'm just going to do the one that I need or that I have. For non-Linux, I'm not on non-Linux. I personally like to remove all the ones that don't apply, but that's also a bit of a bother, so it isn't really needed. Test it as applicable, NixOS tests. We could add the plugin to the NixOS test and make sure it works there. I don't really know how to test that plugin, so for now, honestly, I can't really fully test this plugin, so I should at least ping someone that hopefully does know how to do that. Yorick, can I ping you there and you can forward this to your friends so they can test it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Ping for testing. And you can also ping other people that touched the code in the past. So here we can also take a look at this again, git log. Let's see, is there someone that, well, is there a maintainer for the fluentd package as well? Let's see, there is offline and this username. So let's ping those. Ping.
But those are not GitHub handles.
Yeah.
And I think
that's a good
they
point.
get added automatically, aren't they?
Yeah, maintainers should actually get added automatically. That's right. So hopefully that works out. If there's no maintainers, you can also look at the Git log and try to find some other people that frequently touch the relevant code. So, for example, I noticed this user, maybe Robert Scott here, actually. Yeah, let's ping Robert Scott. They updated the package already twice. Robert Scott, that looks about right. Since they updated the package recently, twice recently. Okay, now let's go back to the NixOS test. Let's make sure that works. I'm running a system control status fluentd.
You can change the dimensions, by the way.
Oh yeah, let's try this. You said something like this. Oh yeah, nice. Oh, this is a bit weird. Maybe it's a bit. Oh, so this is 80, so I don't know, 100 maybe.
You can check in your terminal on the host lines and columns. Yeah. No, but now you are inside the VM.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So we'd have to power off. Oh, I see. That's nice. So we do this. Okay, 2828. Now let's run the VM. And let's do stty rows calls like this. Nice, thanks a lot. Status fluentd. All right, it did fail. And we have a plugin not found plugin error. Unknown filter plugin concat. Okay, so that did not work. So this might indicate that we need to actually look at main conversion.nix.
You're still in VM.
Yeah, that's I think fine for now, but so this, I guess, there's not a lot of, again, there's no examples for this, but let's try using it.
Actually, I saw basically fluentd used. Basically, you can pass to fluentd a bunch of plugin directories where you just clone plugins. But they just are added to their Ruby path thing, right? So you basically need to pass a path to the plugins here that will be imported by Ruby. But if you install gem in the system, it should work. So like we are installed gem in this, but it didn't work
so
for some reason.
And actually we kind of saw that I thought it did work before, right? And so actually
maybe it's wrong package or wrong mixed packages.
So I did build Nix build like this. But yeah, well, let's. I mean, that's a good case for bisection. Didn't we look at this just last week? Maybe. Let's try starting bisection. So we have a bisect. This is a bad commit. Now we're gonna go, well, it's a bit annoying because we added another commit on top, this one. We could do, let's do a git reset soft on the previous one. This way we kind of undo our commit, but still keep the changes around. So now we can see these changes here. And I'm gonna git stash these. Does it also do these? Yes. Git stash these. I'm gonna git bisect bad. I'm gonna git checkout NixOS 2211. That's the one we tested on earlier. Now I'm gonna git stash pop. I'm gonna try building the VM again. Okay, it has some things here. Actually, it might be the case that we had the other updates also here, because right now we're only doing these single lines here without all the other changes that happened when we updated the package. That might be it. Let's try running it again. And system control status fluentd. Yeah, honestly, that sounds like it might be it. Okay, so I guess we might need the other changes. So let's try running the update script again. That was nix shell maintainers update script fluentd. Enter. It's a good thing we're testing this. Very important for PRs. Let's try building the VM again. Oh, and this time, yeah, we get the pre-built result from earlier. Right. So that's fluentd, and it works. All right, so that's a very good indication that we do need the changes. So let's shut this down again. Let's look at this, and so we're gonna get all of these changes. So let's do a git stash again. Well, we don't need a bisect here, so git bisect reset. This gets us back to our branch. I'm gonna git stash pop, get the changes back. I need to verify again on this branch that it works. So let's build the VM. Oh. All right, run the VM. And it works. Awesome. So now we have verified that the changes work. We have all the changes here. I need to redo the commit. Now we did kind of get rid of our previous commit, but we can look at this with git revlog. This has a history of all the kind of how the head commit changed in this Git repository. We can go, let's see, moving from, let's see, well, this one, I think. So we copied this commit, let's git show. Yeah, well, we had just this message. If you had a more complicated message or a git history, this might be more useful. So I'm going to git add -p. I'm going to add all of these. I think that's an A. All of these. All of these. Well, A means all of the changes in this file you're currently looking at. So I committed all of these. Okay, and let's force push. And since we are updating the package and there is a NixOS test, we might also try running that. We can do this with just nix build NixOS tests fluentd. And let's run this in the background. Meanwhile, I'm going to go to the peer here. I'm going to refresh it. All right. And this, well, let's... Okay, well, good to know. But you don't need to tell me every time. The description you added here isn't lost when you refresh, which is nice. Oh, and if you are a maintainer of Nix packages yourself, you can also request reviews by other maintainers. But if you don't, you can also just ping them here. All right, now build on platforms. We tested on this platform, which I'm on. This doesn't apply, tested if applicable. So NixOS tests. Yeah, we can see it built successfully. So we can check this. What else do we have here? Tests are linked to the relevant packages. Well, we didn't add a test, but I think this wasn't linked. Yeah. So I think we looked at this in a previous episode. So linked, that's this. This means that we have the pass through .tests, which links to the NixOS tests like this. Really nice to see this all documented here. And we can, I mean, since we're touching the code, this isn't necessary, but we might as well do it here. So let's add NixOS tests up here. Let's go in here and do pass through .tests equals, and what is done here? Like this. Yeah, well, we need to use fluentd and fluentd. Like this. And now we can build the test using -a fluentd.tests. Yes. All right, that works. Let's also commit this. So I'm gonna do git add, well, git add -u. I think that's all the files listed up here. Yes, fluentd add NixOS tests, or what is it called in here? Link, yes. Link NixOS test. Okay, let's push this. We don't need a force push this time. Okay, we could refresh this to see the new commit in here, but that's not needed. It's gonna add it anyways in the end. Tested basic functionality for all binary files. No, because I don't really know how to test this myself. Release note entry, modules addition, module updates, package updates. It's not a breaking change. Fits contributing.nix. You, as a new committer, you might read through this. And oh yeah, that's actually the file that was linked just earlier. And we have some, these conventions are apparently documented here. You have some nice examples. Yeah, that's useful. All right, and then also this is a blurb that I actually added myself at some point because Nixpkgs has a whole bunch of PRs, and actually that's a good point. There are a whole bunch of PRs. Maybe someone already did the change I'm doing here, and I haven't even checked this. So let's go into Nixpkgs. Let's search for fluentd, or that fluentd plugin. We have, no, that looks all good. Let's also search for just fluent plugin. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We don't have anybody else doing the same change. So this is an HTML and XML comment, which isn't shown in the final text, but you can also remove this if it bothers you. All right, and so I think, well, let's refresh it. I wanna see the commit here. I'm also going to mention here, as a Flink bug also commits all the updates that happen when you run the update script. All right, and I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to open the peer here. Branch also looks good. It's to master. Yeah, hopefully we can see the maintainers automatically being added here in, might take a couple minutes. All right, and we are more or less out of time. Do we have any questions about this? Or, well, we had a mention of a next level plugin to package. Might not get to it this time, but this one apparently has a binary dependency. Also, I see it's over 5 years old. Yeah, but any questions?
I actually, about the update script, I saw that you're running it as Nix shell, right?
Yeah.
I understand that basically it is used because Nix shell allows you to run something, but maybe you could quickly show how the script is actually triggered.
Yeah. So I believe it probably uses the shell hook. So let's go, well, if you want to figure out how it works, look at the source code. And so let's look at this. Let's go to the bottom. And we find, okay, we have a shell hook. So the shell hook is what runs when you run a Nix shell. So that's how it triggers the script here. And it apparently does Python args, has a build command set to something that fails. So this means if we try running Nix build instead, no, actually I should be able to, yeah, that's much better. If you try to Nix build this, it should fail. Yeah, we get this error message here. Not possible to update packages using Nix build. Please run Nix shell. That's nice. Yeah, so it runs shell hook, and yeah, underneath I guess it runs a Python script.
But why are not we in Nix shell after this?
That's a good point. Is it? Well, let's try. Well, we are out of time. I do think it might be something like the Python script calling an exit.
It does exec. It does exec.
Oh, it does exec.
Replaces shell. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah, okay, that's a bit hacky, but I guess it works. I guess my recommendation would be use a Nix build to build something and then do like .result or .bin result bin script. That's a bit more conventional, I'd say. You can also combine this into one with this, like Nix build -a hello. I kind of like this. Nix build -a hello. Bin hello. This way you can also run both a Nix build and a command in one, or also add no out link. This doesn't add a result sim link because in this case we don't need it since it expands to the Nix store string. All right, but yeah, thanks a lot for being here, and yeah, see you next time.